Most guys want a better life, more money, more muscle, more respect, but they're missing the foundation, responsibility. If you don't learn how to carry weight, whether it's physical, mental, emotional, financial, spiritual, you're always going to be stuck feeling weak. In this video, I'm breaking down 3 brutal truths that helped me to go from being a passive little boy to a more responsible young man. Let me be blunt, you can't blame yourself into a better life. Your parents might have screwed up, your school might have failed you, you might have had real trauma, and yes, that's completely unfair. But blaming doesn't get you a stronger body, blaming doesn't magically put money into your bank account, and blaming doesn't turn you into a more responsible man. A lot of guys don't realize this, but when you blame something outside of yourself, you give the power away. Once you do that, you immediately start to become a victim of the world rather than the creator of your own life. Responsible men don't play the victim game, they instead take the offense. One of the simplest ways you can start to take your power back is just to kill the blame game altogether. Something really childish I used to do when I was younger is I'd have these responsibilities, and mainly I remember it being chores, and I really just didn't want to do them, and I'd start to blame other people for them, oh, why do my parents have to keep nagging me about doing this? Why did I have to be born in this household? Because, I don't want to do this stuff, I just want to chill and do my own thing. But pretty much instead of taking responsibilities for the things that I had to do, I would just find a way to blame and make excuses for these things. I'm gonna get back to this in a moment, but it was taking a lot of my energy and just happiness overall, and I didn't even realize it. The second truth to understand is that it may not be your fault, but it still is your responsibility. Responsibility doesn't mean having guilt, it just means taking ownership. It goes from saying it wasn't my fault, so somebody else should take care of it, to saying it's not my fault, but I still have responsibility in changing it because it affects my life in some way. For me, I didn't choose to be skinny growing up, but it was still my responsibility to do workouts and build strength if I wanted to change that. You didn't choose your childhood or the way that you grew up, but it's still your responsibility to heal and level up. Responsibility is just taking that mindset shift from why did this happen to me to what can I do about it now? And making this simple shift just makes you unstoppable. When it came to doing chores for me, once I stopped playing the blame game and realized that, hey, a lot of the things might not be my fault. It may not be my fault that a lot of these, dirty dishes are here. It may not be my fault that, the majority of this trash is here. But it's still my responsibility to take care of these things. The amount of power that I had and, just the, sense of peace that came over me was just, tremendous. And it's something that I just want you to experience for yourself. Because when I stopped blaming others and started to take responsibility for things that might not have been my fault in the first place, I was able to actually do things and get rid of these problems. I wasn't aware of it at the time, but the main reason that I didn't like doing chores wasn't because of the actual task. The task was pretty easy, okay, get it done within 10 to 15 minutes. The main thing that I didn't like about it was just the idea of being told to do it. I didn't like the fact that I was constantly being yelled at or whatever. Once I started to take responsibility for those small things, those small little arguments or being yelled at, they just didn't happen anymore. I wouldn't really say it's arguments, but one-sided arguments pretty much, them yapping at me, and I was okay. The third brutal truth, if you want to start building responsibility, is that you need to start building momentum. Most guys fail because they try to do way too much, way too fast. You don't start off just immediately being super responsible once you get the idea that you want to. No, you have to start just building momentum one step at a time. And the truth is, it starts with those very small things, the things that you don't even consider to be important, but over time, these small things just stack up to build huge levels of responsibility in your own life. Things like cleaning your room, tracking your workouts, making sure you're doing your chores, waking up on time, studying, anything. Every small win is a brick in your kingdom. If you keep stacking them one at a time, you'll wake up and realize that you've built a whole foundation. And the best part, nobody can take it away from you because you've earned it. Day by day, repetition by repetition. Responsibility isn't a chore, it's a weapon that you can use to become more powerful. Because the world gives power to the men who can actually carry the weight. Now, if you practically want to implement this into your life and you just want to become a more responsible guy, the one thing that I would say that will help you the most is just by making this mental mind shift. This is the thing that helped me the most, and it's the advice that I would give to my younger self, essentially. Most of the guys who watch my video, they're in that age group where they're trying to make the shift from being very dependent on others to now wanting to be more independent and take care of themselves, essentially. A big thing that you may have noticed pisses you off is when somebody else tells you to do something when you already were going to do it, or like just do it later on. Like for me, there would be times where I was about to clean my room or about to like do the dishes or take out the trash, but then my parents would tell me to do it, or like someone else would like nag me about it, and then I just didn't want to do it anymore. Then I'd like end up procrastinating or whatever. One of the simplest things that you can do to make responsibility just like more fun for you and like more enjoyable is essentially you make it so it's not something external that someone's like putting and like forcing onto you. Instead, it's something that you put onto yourself. What stops a lot of guys is that they're thinking of it in a way like, oh yeah, these people outside of me are telling me to do it, and like that's kind of their motivation for doing it. I'm telling you right now, you'll be far more motivated if instead you just do it because you want to, for your own personal reasons, not because somebody outside of you, something external is telling you to do it, putting it onto you. You put that own pressure onto your own self. Like literally what I had to do is I kind of just like gaslight myself into saying, you know what, I'm not doing this because my like parents want me to do these chores. I'm just doing it because I don't want to have to deal with their yapping. I don't want to have to like be yelled at or whatever. I just want to be able to relax, do my own thing without like them having to bother me essentially. Or it could be something else like studying. Like I'm not going to do this homework because my teachers are telling me or because my parents want me to. I'm just going to do it because I kind of want to. I just don't want to have to deal with like the consequences of like getting a bad grade on this. Or for example, when it comes to fitness, I'm going to work out not because other people like are judging me because of my body or whatever. I'm just doing this because I want to for myself, because I want to feel happier. I want to feel better about myself. And you can make the mental shift from responsibility being something that other people are imposing upon you to something that you impose on yourself. Your motivation and your just like willingness to do it and willingness to comply just goes through the roof. So before this video ends, I want you to think of something that you're doing because somebody else is telling you to do it, and like that's kind of your main reason for doing it. I want you to make the shift from saying, okay, I'm doing this because somebody else is telling me to do it, to now I'm doing this because I want to do it for my own reasons. It doesn't really matter what reason it is, but as long as it compels you to like want to do it way more than like just because of someone else is telling you. I'm telling you, your level of responsibility, your level of like actually following through just goes through the roof. So if you're ready to stop being a passive observer in your life and ready to take on some more responsibility, I highly recommend that you join our Brotherhood. There will be a Discord link down in the description. We're building a brotherhood of disciplined, driven, and responsible young men. Not just talking about being more responsible, but actually living it. If you want to join our brotherhood, link is down in the description. If you want to watch some of my other videos, go ahead and check it out. But remember, if you want your life to change for the better, it starts with you. Peace out.